Hello, guys. So, today is Girl Talk 101. We're gonna talk about everything: insecurities, boundaries, dreams, relationships, friendships, is insecurities. Who in this world isn't insecure? Even Elon Musk was insecure about something in some time. Everybody is insecure, and you being insecure doesn't mean you're less of a person. Everyone is fucking insecure. So I'm gonna make this a personal thing. So when I was in high school, I was really insecure about certain things I did, things I ate, things, just everything. And I was really dimming my light every day, just going from bright to dull every fucking day. And I lost my spark. I really lost my spark. Guy, that version of me, oh my god, Namurumia, but I still love her. She went through a lot. So I said this year I'm gonna try changing the way I see myself, the way I perceive myself, because like I want to love myself, right? So I tried changing myself out of hate. And what society didn't tell me is that you can't change yourself because you hate yourself. You'll change yourself because you love yourself. And that's what really works. And if you change yourself and it works, but because you hate yourself, it won't feel fulfilling because you didn't enjoy the journey of you changing to be a better version of yourself. So, one thing, if your insecurity can be changed, if it's not a permanent insecurity, because they are permanent insecurities, like maybe you were born with a condition or something, but if it's not a permanent thing and you can actually change yourself. But change yourself because you love yourself, not because you hate yourself. There's a difference of, yes, you can accept your flaws, but that doesn't mean you have to live with them throughout your life. You know, let's say you are like dealing with like weight, because weight is something that can be changed. Maybe you're underweight or overweight. You can accept yourself and love yourself and say, this is the body that has gone through a lot and I love it, but I want it to be a healthier body. And you can go on and change you yourself. And yeah, so love yourself, then you can be in a position to change yourself, and the journey will be better than the results. Trust me, you will love the journey, but the results will be just there. But the journey is what truly matters. So the second thing, friendships and relationships. So let me start with friendships. I think when I was young, since high school, primary school, I always saw my friends. I wanted to be with friends who were like famous and popular and well known in the school. For whatever reason, I really didn't care because I was hungry for like famous friends. So I surrounded myself with shitty people. I surrounded myself with shitty people, and that also contributed to me losing my spark and my self identity. Okay, let's now go to high school. In high school, I started hanging out with like the popular kids, right? And at first it was all fun and games, but as I went on, I started losing myself. I started because I was a people pleaser and had no boundaries. So if someone says, "Oh my God, Lisa, you should be this," I was like, "Oh wait, that's a good idea," and I was like, "Oh okay, I do that." So every time someone said, "Lisa, you should do this," I just did. And the more I hang out with them, the more I lost myself. I lost who I was as a person. And before you get back, it will take you a lot, because my best friend was also like the popular kid, and it had me to also lose her because she didn't want to change with me. And it was all cool because right now we're cool, but she's a good friend at the end of the day, but her identity then was not aligning with what I wanted to be in the future. And then we just I love her so much, but you have to leave people who will misalign you with your identity at the end of the day. That means even your best friend, your cousin, your just close person, if he doesn't align and doesn't want to change with you, that doesn't mean you should hate the person. No, that means her journey is still going. She'll find herself later, but you just change and give yourself space from that position. That's mostly in high school, and maybe I will apply it in campus. So, but this year, because now I have a different mindset about like people, about friendships, about relationships. This year, I really put surrounded myself with people who make me grow as a person, and not like in a like boring way, like, but these people were generally happy for me and love me for who I am, and have accepted me with my flaws and also my perfections, and I love them so much. And I don't have a lot of friends. I only have like 3 to 4 friends. Not even, what am I kidding? I only have 2 friends, and I love them so much. So I surround myself with people who love me and who generally keep me in sane, like keep me sane, not insane, keep me sane at the end of the day, and match my reality and my future, Now let's go to relationships. You don't have to make because I know nothing about this. I will tell you from a personal view because I'm not a dater. I haven't dated a lot. I haven't dated a lot. Who am I kidding? Like, only had like one boyfriend, or which that one boyfriend really break up after 1 month. And not because of like anything, but because like we were not aligning with our journeys were not aligning. Like, he was in a place that I wasn't yet, and I was like, I wanted to choose myself first, but he wanted to have another thing, and I was like cool with it, and I was so it's not like we hate each other, but our journeys were just not aligning. We were just not aligning, we were very in a very different space of our lives, and it's cool. It's cool. But out of my personal experience, I'll say you need to first find yourself first before anything else. You need to find yourself, because when you find yourself and then get into a relationship, it will be so hard for you to be taken away by love. And like, that's not a bad thing, but the things that you won't accept in a relationship, when you know yourself and you know your values and you know your identity, so find yourself and love yourself first. So because I usually don't understand the people who like the man cheat on them and then they go back and say, oh, I just love this man. That's stupidity. That's stupidity. That means you don't know yourself and you don't know your worth and value of this world. And that thing, dreams. For me, I've always been a dreamer. I've always been a big dreamer, and I've always expressed myself as a big dreamer. Like, I've always told people I'm gonna do this, do that, and that's where I think I robbed myself. That's why I think I sold myself, because people don't give a fuck. Sorry to say, let me hold your hand, but people don't give a fuck about what you're dreaming. If they don't see the results, they don't give a fuck. Even your parents, they just don't give a fuck. Especially for me. So I'm gonna tell you a story. When I was in Sunday school, it was so long ago. I think I was in like class 4, grade 4. Like, I was so young. Before I went to boarding, I think, or I was in boarding. I was a fan of musicals. Like, I loved musicals, and I just like enjoyed music, and I enjoyed dances and acting and just everything that has a spotlight, like has a camera. I always enjoyed that. So in church, there's this like teacher. He used to ask us, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" But we were so many, so I wasn't. The first few Sundays, I was cool, and then I don't know what made me to sit in front. Me and my homeboys and homegirls at that time, we just sat in front, and then he was just asking everyone in the front, what do you want to be when you grow up? And my friends were like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a pilot, I want to be a teacher, I want to be, those traditional jobs that everyone wants to be in every Kenyan household. But when it reached my time, my point, my moment, I said I wanted to be Timika. So let me explain who Timika is. Timika was an actress in one of the Nickelodeon shows. I think it was School of Rock. And she was an actress, she was a content creator, she was an influencer, she was everything I wanted to be. She was also a dancer, a voice actor, she was everything. So I never knew how to explain myself as like everything, because I was a child. I didn't know how to say I wanted to be like big. So I just said I wanted to be Timika, and everybody just like burst out laughing, especially my friends, because they knew what I was talking about, because I would always tell them I wanted to be like her. So they just burst out laughing, and I was so embarrassed. And then in high school, like I never learned my lesson. It's like, hey, in high school I had a friend group, and I think we were talking about things, and I would always say like, one day I'm gonna win a Grammy, I'm gonna be the Kenyan Tyler and stuff. And then people were like mocking me and stuff, but I never took it like smoking, because I didn't give a fuck. But I remember one thing someone told me is like, you wanna win a Grammy and you're Kenyan? And I was like, being a Kenyan doesn't mean I can't win a Grammy. Like, that's your limiting beliefs, and you should work on yourself. If you have that type of thinking, guy, you are doomed. You are fucking doomed. So, like, I never knew how to express myself as a content creator and as an influencer, as just these things that people don't respect in our world because people want the traditional jobs, But I was cool. So I think one thing that story and this story that I've told you taught me is that people don't know you. They can never relate to you, not even your parents, because of the multiple times I've tried to tell my parents what I want and the career path I want, and they just dismiss me is countless. Countless. And I don't blame them. Like, they will see the vision well when it comes, when the results come. I just don't care right now. Right now, I'm just grinding. And yeah, just don't tell people. Just people don't care, and at the end of the day, people will start supporting you when they see the progress. They see you getting brand deals. They see you are going to places that even education couldn't take you, right? Yeah. And then, what else? Have I talked about boundaries? I think I have. Okay, boundaries, just be a person who loves themselves, and don't be ever take a joke out of something that you know really upsets you at the end of the day, and you'll cry in bed alone. Because I was that kind of person. People will fucking joke about things that really mattered and really made me insecure, and then I'll just laugh with them at the moment, and then I'll just go and journal while crying in bed. And that's something that really made me feel like bullshit and crappy in school, actually. And something, just stand up for yourself, have boundaries. If someone says something, you're like, why would you say that? Or tell them, repeat that again. I didn't hear, like, repeat that. Just traumatize the person at the end of the day. Just traumatize them. Let them know that you are on a serious note. And if someone takes offense, like, that's why you kept them there. Because they were benefiting from you not talking about that and not putting boundaries, right? So please put fucking boundaries. And let me tell you, I have put boundaries in my friendships and people have left and I don't care. But also people have stayed, and those are my friends till now. Those are the friends that if they never took offense, they just knew, because they also do the same. My friends have boundaries. My friends have boundaries. My friends have, they're not people please. My friends are just perfect in every light form, guy. And they weren't born like that. They weren't born like that. They were just, they had to make the foundation for it. Just every day you try standing up for yourself builds a foundation for you to be a firm person in the things you stand for in life, right? And then beauty and class. People really respect people who put themselves together. Like, yo, if you see, okay, at home I'm always a person who wears these clothes, and when I go outside to maybe like buy something, I just feel like people just don't take me seriously. But the moment I glam up and I do like, just I wear very well clothes, like they always like respect me, and I was like, oh, okay, okay. So people are just like, people respect you when they see you're putting yourself together. And also, beauty doesn't come from outside only, it also comes from inside. So start journaling, girl. Start journaling. Put your traumas into writing and just write them, and forgive yourself where you are the problem, and also forgive others, not because they deserve your forgiveness, but because you just need peace from whatever, because your energy is too concentrated on those bullshit. So just forgive them so that your energy can shift from them to you, and you can be creative with your time, with your money, with your everything. So I think that's it. So start journaling, read books, yeah. Yeah, so bye. Love you guys. Subscribe.